Yeah, good morning, everybody. Dear members, yeah, it is our today's very important session that today is 27 June and we are celebrating International MSME Day. Friends, for this today's webinar, we have with us Arvindji Pargaonkar, who is the chairman of MCCIA. We also have Rajendraji Kataria, who is the president of AMI, and speaker, keynote speaker, Ankurji Surana from Nashik. I welcome to all of you. I request, please mute yourself. Sorry, friends. Today is the International MSME Day. It is in 2017, United Nations passed an resolution where it was declared that 27 June will be celebrated as International MSME Day. The main object of celebrating this MSME Day is that to recognize the substantial development goal and create awareness about them, and all countries should organize, present, and have a workshop and have a discussion with business owners and other events to celebrate on this day. We know that MSME contributes around 50% of the total world's employment. The sector is very, very important for every nation for its economic development. But nowadays we are seeing that in the last 1.5 years, we are facing the problem of COVID. First wave ho gaya, second aa gaya, second khatam nahi hua to third aa gaya. And every sector is facing the problem, and MSME is also not the exception. To this MSME, government introduced various subsidy and various incentive schemes, but still they are facing the problem to get this subsidy and incentive. Apart from this subsidy and incentive, MSME is having its own problem. So what the problems they are facing, what the challenges they are facing, and how to overcome from these challenges and these problems. We have with us Pargaonkar sir, Kataria sir, and Ankur Surana sir. So I request Arvindji Pargaonkar, please give your thought on this issue. Before that, I request CA Prasad Purani to formally introduce our today's guest, chief guest, Sri Arvindji Pargaonkar. Over to you, Prasad. Prasad, unmute yourself.
Thank you very much, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, Prasad, you are audible.
Yeah. Once again, I welcome all the dignitaries and the participants on the auspicious day of MSME Day. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce one of our chief guests for today's webinar on MSME, that Mr. Arvindji Pargaonkar sir. The man himself needs any introduction, as he is being the key man of the success of trade and industry in Ahmednagar. As a CA, we very well known Mr. Arvind and his contribution towards the Ahmednagar MSME. As he needs no introduction but as our tradition, I take this opportunity to introduce Mr. Arvindji Prabhakar Pargaonkar towards the August gathering. Mr. Arvindji Prabhakar Pargaonkar is the General Manager for Larsen Turbo Electrical and Automation, that is a unit of Schneider Electric India Limited. He is a major contributor in winning world's biggest award in manufacturing excellence, Demanding Prize 2019 for Larsen and Turbo Electrical Standard Production Division. He is the chairman of Maharashtra Chamber of Commerce, Industries and Agriculture, that is MCCIA Ahmednagar. He was a past chairman of Institution of Engineers India Ahmednagar. He was chairman of IMC, that is Institute of Management Committee, ITI. He is a president of Ahmednagar Gymkhana, which organizes much more seminar on the MSME that are very much fruitful to the industry as well as the CA fraternity in relation to subsidy and MSME scheme. Just 1 minute, sir. He was the past zone chairperson of Lions Club District Region 7 Zone 2nd. He is also council member of Pune University and working as a faculty for cost reduction expertise. Mr. Arvind Ji, born on 20th September 1962, since his childhood, he was one of the rank holders in the school days and have meritorious career in the academic performance. At the same time, he was actively involved as in extracurricular activities in school and colleges. He stood first in district in SSC and after successfully completing his higher secondary education, joined one of the prestigious colleges named as College of Engineering Pune, that is COEP. After successfully completing his engineering graduation in mechanical engineering from the Pune University in first class, then he completed his DBM from Pune University with distinction. Success path was continued and then he completed his MMS from Pune University again with distinction with elaborates his talent consistently. Mr. Pargaonkar is working as a general manager in L&T Electrical and Automation Company. He was an exhaustive experience of 35 years in industry. He has led various functions departments in L&T and now he is heading the manufacturing division of electrical standards products in India, which includes factories at Mumbai, Ahmednagar and Vadodara. Especially ESP division's turnover has crossed 3,000 crores. The team around 4,000 people is working under the able leadership of Mr. Arvind Ji. He helped L&T factories to gear up its manufacturing excellence journey. Some of the highlights are he is a champion of TQM, TPM and Six Sigma as a black belt. He is also coordinator and trainer of Total Quality Management Initiative with alignment to total employee involvement. Company has achieved various manufacturing excellence awards under his leadership, like Deming Award, India Manufacturing Excellence Award, RBNQA Award, Rathi Award, etc. and many more. He has visited to various countries like Japan for TQM, US for Shingijutsu Kaizen, Singapore, France, UK, Germany, Malaysia, and Italy for various educational and industrial tours. He is an effective leader, not only in inside company, but he is equally active for society also. He has initiated various projects for social cause through L&T, Ahmednagar, Gymkhana, Lions Club, and MCCIA. In Lions Club, he was the past president as well as past zone chairman of Lions Club International. He is working as a board member in Pune University on curriculum of management administration courses. In the city of Nagar, he has carried out various innovative projects like running traffic signal system, beautification of circles, rehabilitation of mentally retarded children, mobile clinic for rural area, and science on wheel for deprived schools. Also under his initiative, he has done many projects in school in rural areas like classroom construction, science lab setup, toilet blocks, computer lab setup, and pure drinking water system. Apart from the professional and social success, he has a great success on family front also. His wife, Dr. Mrs. Anaga, well-known gynecologist in Ahmednagar city, and two sons are equally successful in their academic career. Elder son, Aniket, working in US, and younger son, Dr. Nachiket, is doing post-graduation in ophthalmology. With this brief introduction, now I request Sandeep sir to take the charge of the session for the.
Thank you, Prasad.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you for your wonderful introduction of Arvind Ji Pargaonkar. Now, without taking much time, I request Arvind Ji, please have your share of thought.
Very good morning, Ankur Ji. Very good morning, Sandeep Ji.
Good morning.
And thanks for a bit longer introduction of myself, CA Prasad Ji, all my CA associates, Rajendra Ji from industry, Army, as well as all the MSME participants of this webinar. It's a very good part on CA Association, Ahmednagar, that on the 27th June, that is MSME, International MSME Day, they have organized a good, very, very necessary webinar like subsidies to MSMEs. As explained by Sandeep ji, MSME is a very, very enormous part of economy, not only India, but it is internationally. The nature of industry is like that. Say, core industry or mother industry is having certain responsibilities and they carry out certain level of manufacturing and other parts of the business. But then the support system is developed by MSME only. So mother industries are mainly dependent on MSMEs. MSMEs are helping economy just not through only employment, but through financial issues also, matters also. Why this subsidy is important for MSMEs? As we discussed that MSMEs are very large in numbers, not only in India, internationally. If you see the nature of MSME, that is micro, small and medium scale industries, these are proprietary driven companies, projects, mostly many times individuals, and those individuals are either engineer or other kind of graduates. Generally, they have a very high level of passion, and with that passion, with that desire to do something in life, they take risk, and that risk starts with their project beginning itself. When they start the project, so identification of the project, procurement of land, then getting various licenses from governments, getting labor, getting capital or say machineries. That is one part. And he is getting exhausted mainly, say, making finance available for this. Having less knowledge of finance than other expertise, then his problems continues further. When the project starts, then he has to satisfy the customer. While satisfying customer, he has to procure quality material, he has to deliver very, very cheaper products compared to his competition, and of course, after sales service and many. Apart from this, then he has to compete with other competitors also. This is a very competitive market and one has to compete with full strength. Now, if you see the overall background of this, management of labor, management of raw material, all those inevitable things like inflation of the raw material. He doesn't know, the entrepreneur doesn't know what is going to happen. So whatever projections he's making, whatever budgets he's making, whatever say promises he's giving to mother industry and customers, many times they get collapsed because of inflationary rate hikes in the market. Currently, if you see the prices of copper, prices of steel, and prices of other raw materials, even plastics, not available in the market. So in such scenario, the MSME sector is really struggling and fighting how to survive. So majority of them get frustrated after a few years. And subsequently, some of them, they get success. If they remain in the business, if they show passion to continue in the business, they struggle hard, then they continue in the business and they reach to the ladders of success. But then, it's not a question of only their success or their failures. Whole of the mother industry and whole of the economy is dependent on their success only. So our intention should be, they should be successful in their projects. Either they should have sizable earning, they should have sizable knowledge, technical support, and all those things are required. Now, governments are playing very, very instrumental role in the development of this MSME. Looking at the nature of the enterprise, as mother industry is also taking care of those through technical knowledge imparting or training to their people, development from that perspective. But financially, they need a lot of support from financial institutes as well as government taxations. All these taxes and levies given to government, they are very, very huge. If you see the overall component of the business, then majority of the part, even more than profits, is being paid in taxes and various levies. And if the MSME sector or that entrepreneur is not supported with proper kind of subsidies time to time, it depends upon time again. Like this inevitable or uncalled, unseen scenarios like COVID, or say tsunamis in South India, or so many calamities are there, natural calamities there. North India, there are calamities like rivers overflowing, etc., etc. All those calamities he has to face. He has to pay regular taxes. He has to take care of all his resources. Then make him survive properly. One has to decide proper kind of subsidy structure. That is one part. That is part on, say, government side. Second side, there is some kind of support required to MSMEs through experts like you. Today, Ankurji will be talking on this. That knowledge should be transferred to all the entrepreneurs so that they'll be able to avail those subsidies and make his business sustainable. I think today's webinar is far important for all these MSMEs. I think this will be a great benefit to Nagar industry as well as whoever is joining from outside of the Nagar. I'm really thankful to Ankurji. I'm really thankful to Sandeep ji and CA Association of Ahmednagar to organize this nice webinar. My best wishes to this webinar. I raise my words here. Thank you.
Thank you, Arvind ji. You elaborated the role and importance of MSME very nicely. And you also highlighted the issues, the challenges faced by the MSME. The main challenge is with respect to the finance, getting the land, it's okay, but the main problem is with the finance. And with respect to that, I think we taken the correct decision to have the webinar on this, how to raise your finance, how to take the benefit of your subsidy and incentives. Thank you so much. In spite of your busy schedule, you gave your time. Thank you so much, Parvakar ji. Now I request today's our second chief guest, President of Army, Sri Rajendra Ji Kataria, have your word. But before that, I request C. Aniket Baldava, please formally introduce our guest. Aniket, over to you. Just a minute, some technical issue. I think Aniket is not able to join, so I take this opportunity to introduce Rajendra Ji Kataria. Rajendra Ji Kataria is a diploma in production engineering and director and CEO of RS Engineers for last 24 years. He is a director of Prabha Industry, director of KNPS System Private Limited, and the most important, he is a president of Association of Ahmednagar Manufacturing Industries, AMI, since last 3 years. Rajendra Ji Kataria regularly visits Ahmednagar branch. Last time, I think in the budget session, he addressed our CAs also. Now I request Rajendra Ji, please highlight the issues relating to MSME and please take the charge. Thank you. Please unmute yourself.
गुड मॉर्निंग. इथं उपस्थित आमचे मार्गदर्शक अरविंदजी पारगावकर, आजचे स्पीकर अंकुरजी सुराणा, त्यांच्याबद्दल मी बरंच काही ऐकलेलं आहे. आणि मोस्ट ऍक्टिव्ह नगरची सीए ब्रँच जी भारतामध्ये फेमस आहे, त्याचे अध्यक्ष संदीपजी देसरटा, सीए मित्र परिवार आणि आमचे मार्गदर्शक मोहनजी बर्मेचा आणि उद्योजक मित्रांनो, सर्वप्रथम सर्वांना MSME डे च्या हार्दिक शुभेच्छा. खरं म्हणजे MSME डे ची साजरा केला जातो ही एक सगळ्यात महत्वाची गोष्ट आहे. कारण MSME किंवा लहान उद्योजक हा एकदा कुठंतरी एक कोपऱ्यात पडलेला असा आजपर्यंत होतं. पण त्याला आता आज या निमित्ताने कमीत कमी त्याचं रेकग्निशन व्हायला सुरुवात झालेली आहे. तसं म्हणलं तर MSME जे आहे MSMEचा रोल हा खूप मोठा आहे. जीडीपीच्या एक बॅकबोन म्हणतोय आपण त्यांना. जीडीपी मध्ये 30% शेअर हा MSMEचा आहे. लेबर क्रिएशन मध्ये सुद्धा ऑलमोस्ट 30% क्रिएशन MSME कडनं होतं. लेबर क्रिएशन जे काय आहे ते. अपार्ट फ्रॉम द सेव्हरल इश्यूज, मला वाटतं माझं काम बरंचसं अरविंदजींनी सोपं केलेलं आहे, की बऱ्याच गोष्टी त्यांनी सगळ्या विषयावरती प्रकाश टाकलेला आहे. पण खरोखर MSME हा जो लहान उद्योजक जो म्हणतो आपण, त्याला अनेक अडचणींना सामोरं जावं लागतं. त्याच्याकडे काय माहिती, त्याच्याकडे फक्त त्याच्या विषयातलं टेक्निकल नॉलेज असतं. पण बाकीच्या गोष्टी, फायनान्स कुठं उभा करायचा आहे, बाकीच्या गोष्टी कुठे, लेबर कसा हँडल करायचा आहे, या गोष्टी तो आपापला ह्याच्यातनं कामातनं शिकत जातो. तो त्याला कुठल्याही प्रकारचं ट्रेनिंग खूप मिळालेलं नसतं. कुठंतरी एक काम केलेलं असतं, सर्व्हिस केलेली असते 2-5 वर्ष, 10 वर्ष, आणि मग तो आपला एक उद्योजक होतो. अशा प्रकारचे मोस्ट ऑफ द एंटरप्रेनर्स आर ऑफ द सेम कॅटेगरी. तर ह्याच्यामध्ये सीए हा जो आहे, सीएचा एक खूप महत्वाचा रोल आहे. आणि मला सांगायला आनंद होतो की सीए जे आहे ते सगळेजण अतिशय चांगल्या प्रकारे हा रोल निभावत आहेत. कारण दे आर ॲज गुड ॲज अ पार्टनर ऑफ आवर इंडस्ट्री. आणि मग त्याच्यामध्ये फायनान्स कसं उभा करायच्या, बाकीच्या अडचणी कशा करायच्या. कारण आम्हाला फक्त काय घाई झालेली असते, कधी एकदा लँड ताब्यात घेतोय किंवा रेंटनी घेऊ आणि मग कारखाना चालू करू, मशिनरी ऑर्डर करायची. कारण तुम्हाला एक किस्सा सांगतो, माझं आता एक नवीन युनिट मी जे चालू केलं, प्रभा इंडस्ट्रीज, त्याच्यासाठी मी आमच्या मोहन बर्मेचांकडे जाऊन बसलो होतो. त्यांना म्हटलं बा असं असं करायचंय, मला लवकर बा करून द्या, लोन मला करून द्या, अशा मशिनरी घ्यायच्या. त्यांनी शांतपणे मला बसवलं, बाबा रे थांब, हे तू फक्त यातल्या 4 गोष्टी सांगितल्या, आणखी ह्या 10 गोष्टीची माहिती तुम्हाला दिलेली नाहीये. दे आर एंटरप्रेनर्स, त्यांना सगळ्या गोष्टीची माहिती. म्हणजे माझं जे कास्टिंगचं युनिट सुरू करण्याचा प्रयत्न केलाय, चालू केलेला आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये सुद्धा त्यांनी मला बऱ्याच गोष्टी त्यांनी सांगितल्या. म्हणजे सीएचा रोल किती महत्वाचा आहे आमच्या MSME मध्ये, हे मला याच्यातनं सांगायचंय. आणि जसं आताच पराग सरांनी सांगितलं सबसिडीचं महत्व काय, हे पण त्यांनी सांगितलंय. कारण आम्ही अनंत अडचणीमध्ये होतो. MSME ही बऱ्यापैकी डिपेंडंट आहे, पॅरेंट कंपनीवरती डिपेंड आहे. मार्केट शेअर पण त्यांच्याकडे कमी असतो, त्यांच्या त्या कॉम्पिटिशनला त्यांना उतरावं लागतंय. आणि त्याच्यामध्ये बरीच जर का अशी कोविड सारखी पॅन्डेमिक जर आली तर त्याच्यामध्ये तर पूर्ण उद्ध्वस्त होऊन जातो. कारण सगळे असते. कारण इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये सगळ्यात मोठा फरक, इंडस्ट्री आणि बाकी बिझनेस मधला सगळ्यात मोठा फरक मध्ये, त्याच्यामध्ये ओव्हरहेड जे असतात ते कुठल्याही पद्धतीत कमी होत नाही. म्हणजे लेबरचा पगार म्हणा, स्टाफचा पगार म्हणा, किंवा बाकीच्या जे काही फिक्स्ड ओव्हरहेड्स असतात ते काही कुठल्या पद्धतीत कमी होत नाही. आणि मग त्याच्यामुळे बुडत्याला काडीचा आधार म्हणतात, त्याप्रमाणे या सबसिडी किंवा या स्कीम्स आहेत, याचा खूप त्याचा फायदेशीर पडते. कारण आम्हाला तो अभ्यास करायला वेळ नसतो. आम्हाला फक्त आमच्या टेक्नॉलॉजीमध्ये लक्ष देऊन जे काही आम्हाला माहिती आहे त्याप्रमाणे बिझनेस रन करायचे, कस्टमर सॅटिस्फाय करणं, हे आमचं प्रायमरी गोल असतं दरवेळेस प्रमाणे. तर ह्याच्यामध्ये हा जो चांगला विषय हाताशी घेतलेला आहे, कारण ह्याच्या आधी पण आपण या विषयावरती झालेले आहेत आपले 1-2 सेमिनार, पण आता बऱ्याचशा गोष्टी बदल झाले आहेत. तर ह्या कार्यक्रमाच्या निमित्ताने, या सेमिनारच्या निमित्ताने मी एक अशी अंकुरजी आणि बाकी सगळ्या सीए टीमला विनंती करू इच्छितो की आता बऱ्याच गोष्टी काही चेंजेस झालेल्या आहेत. कोविडसाठी काही नवीन स्कीम्स आता हे झालेल्या आहेत, त्याच्यामध्ये पण जास्त फोकस करा. त्याच्यामध्ये ज्या काही गोष्टी आता नवीन लेटेस्ट घडलेल्या आहेत, किंवा आता जीएसटी कव्हर करणार आहे का माहित नाही, पण जीएसटी मध्ये पण सारख्या चेंजेस होत आहेत. तर ह्या गोष्टीमध्ये काय त्याच्यावरती कसा उहापोह करता येईल, ही एक आम्हाला आमच्या उद्योजकांची अपेक्षा आहे. इथं जॉईन असलेले उद्योजक आणि बाकीच्यांना पण अशी अपेक्षा आहे की याच्यातनं जास्तीत जास्त आम्हाला मार्गदर्शन करावं, काही गोष्टी कराव्यात. कारण आम्ही कसं होतं, फोकस तुम्हाला सांगितलं तसं मॅन, मशीन, मटेरियल गोष्टी आम्हाला जायचं माहित नसतं. कारण आम्हाला माणसंही हँडल करायची असतात, मटेरियलचेही कसं असलं, रॉ मटेरियलच्या किमती कमी जास्त होतात, ते सगळं आम्हाला ऍब्सॉर्ब करावं लागतं. तर ह्या गोष्टींमध्ये सीएचा रोल महत्वाचा आहे. मी घेण्याची तुम्ही मला इथं बोलवलं, मान दिला, त्याच्याबद्दल आभारी आहोत. आणि आणखीन एक संदीपजींना मी एक इथं या निमित्ताने विनंती करू इच्छितो की आपण एकत्रितप्रमाणे काही आणखीन जास्त कार्यक्रम घेता येतील. त्याच्यानंतर आपल्याला येणाऱ्या अडचणी ज्या काय आहेत म्हणजे टॅक्सेसच्या बाबतीत म्हणा, फायनान्सच्या बाबतीतल्या म्हणा, गव्हर्नमेंट वरती त्याही आपण एकटे जॉईंटली आपण सोडू शकतो. त्यालाही कसं करता येईल आपण एकदा भेटूयात, आपण बोलूयात आपण आणि याचा एक थोडासा प्रोग्राम आपण चॉकआउट केला तर इंडस्ट्रीसाठी लहान उद्योजकांना MSME ला याचा फायदा होईल. इथं थांबतो मी. थँक्यू.
थँक्यू राजेंद्रजी. आपण सांगितल्याप्रमाणे निश्चितपणे आम्ही याच्यावरती काम करू की महत्वाचा विषय फायनान्स जरी असला तरी परंतु GST आणि इन्कम टॅक्स and what the problems these MSME facing in that income tax and GST, definitely we'll have a session on this. Definitely we'll meet and we'll have a joint session. Thank you for your time and thank you for your valuable remarks. Thank you. Now we are coming to the main session of your today's incentive schemes. Ankurji Surana, I'm requesting you, please have your session. But before that, I'm very happy to say that when we are searching the faculty for this incentive scheme, I talked with WRC Secretary Arvind Kabra, and he said, you go with the Ankur Surana, he is the best faculty for this. And sir, your name has came from the WRC. It is really a very great privilege for us that WRC is recommending you. You have various seminars with the WRC. I called you and immediately on the same call, you accept our invitation. I'm very thankful to you. You take the charge, but before that, I request C. Aniket Baldava to formally introduce our today's keynote speaker, C. Ankur Surana. Over to you, Aniket. Aniket, unmute yourself. Yeah.
Well, good morning, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to invite our today's guest, C. Ankurji Surana. He is the managing partner with SKD Consultants Private Limited and a managing director and promoter on the board of SKD Advisors Private Limited. He is having a rich experience of over 14 years in the finance and industry sector. He has worked in multiple domains of financial advisory and consulting services such as industrial subsidy consultancy, film financing, project financing, and has been instrumental in scaling up the industrial subsidy business manifold across prominent corporate segments, including Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, and now in Rajasthan also. He has dealt with renowned national and international clients such as Lupin, JBM Auto, Frank, Faber India, MB Sugar and Pharma, Endurance Technologies, etc. He is associated with various business and social networking platforms such as Electronic Industries Association of India, Maharashtra Chamber of Commerce, Jain Incubation and Innovation Foundation Core Committee, Jito Angel Network, Jain International Trade Organization, Jito Youth Wing, the Rotary Club Nasik, member of RVG Hostel Alumni Association, Sindham College of Commerce and Economics Alumni, etc. With this, I welcome him once again, and Sandeep sir, over to you.
Thank you, Aniket. And so let's welcome the very versatile personality and real expert gem in this subsidy field. Now I request Ankurji, please take the charge.
Yeah, thank you so much, Aniket, for just a warm welcome. Thank you, Sandeep ji. Thank you, Rajendra ji and Arvind ji. I think it is quite a privilege to present the session and all my members and friends. I think I will share my screen first. Is my screen visible to you guys?
Yes, sir.
So once again, thank you, Sandeep ji. Thank you, Ahmednagar branch of WIFC for inviting me to present a session on MSME Day for subsidies of Maharashtra and MP and central government policies. Before that, I will second what Rajendra ji said. Rajendra ji म्हटलेला है कि MSME is providing a lot of employment. That is very true, because MSME is the backbone of our country, and they are the real heroes, and they should be supported. And I think Sandeep ji, you will be agree that we CAs plays a vital role as long as these associations they really work very hard to support and give representation to government on behalf of these MSME. So I really, thank these associations, especially Rajendra ji, who is heading it, Ms. Aven ji and Sandeep ji. So let us start this session. The topic is state government subsidies of Maharashtra government and MP government, and I will be also covering the central government scheme. So what is the objective and purpose of the scheme? See, the main scheme which Maharashtra government is having is package scheme incentive. The scheme started in 1964 and got amended year on year. The main purpose of this scheme is to to provide a lot of employment and to develop the less developed area. So that is why government is promoting, and that is why zone wise. So for example, if there is a no industrial zone and if you set up an industry there, then government is providing a higher incentive there. So these incentives are based on, there is a government resolution, but there are procedural rules also on the basis of which these all schemes works. So it was laid down in 1980, which was further amended in 1989. So all process and procedure, how to follow the scheme, what the definition, everything is there in 1989 schemes. The tentative budget of this policy is around 3,000 crores for Maharashtra government. And now they are proposed to 5,000 crores post GST. The highlight of this, just a second. The highlight of the scheme for Maharashtra is, scheme incentive is mother of all the policies. So in this policy, they have covered Maharashtra state electronic policy, package scheme incentive policy, which in 2019, previously it was 2013 policy, special women entrepreneur policy, and electronic policy. Now, when we talk about the state electronic policy 2016, Maharashtra government is providing 100% of incentive on FCI. The definition of FCI I will be covering shortly. FCI is fixed capital investment. It is a revenue linked incentive, and it is applicable to all electronic and manufacturing industry SDM units approved under MSIPS, previously known as Modified Special Incentive Policy. Now it is SPECS policy. The central government is specially amended this policy. So once you are approved under MSIPS and SPECS policy, you can apply to state government and you can get 100% of incentives from state government of Maharashtra, irrespective of your zone, irrespective where you set up your unit in Maharashtra. The packaging scheme of incentive is the latest policy, which is a running policy, which is also having 100% of incentive on FCI. It is again a revenue linked policy, and it is applicable to all manufacturing industries, food processing, biotechnology, and information technology units. The women entrepreneur policy is also having, it is a revenue plus capital linked incentive policy, wherein the promoter or the shareholder or the director of the company should be women, and there should be have a 50% of employment should be with women entrepreneur. It is again a similar line of all the manufacturing industries, food processing, biotechnology. It is applicable to them, and especially for nowadays there are a lot of EV policy. Everybody is talking about electric vehicles, and also Maharashtra government has come up with electric vehicle policy in 2018. That is also providing 100% fixed capital investment. It is again a revenue linked incentive. It is applicable to all manufacturer of electric vehicle, EV component, EV battery component, and charging stations. Now, other states are providing, MP and Rajasthan. Madhya Pradesh, they are providing a capital subsidy, which is 40% of investment in plant and machinery and building, and then additionally 3% every year for export-oriented units. Friends, Madhya Pradesh is the only state which is providing a capital subsidy after GST, amendment after GST. Previously, they were also providing a revenue linked subsidy, but they will come up with a capital subsidy. And this is applicable to all type of manufacturing industries for MSME. So let us take an example. If your investment in plant and machinery and building is suppose 10 crores, then capital subsidy offered by MP government will be 40%. That is 4 crore rupees every year you can encash. That is a pure cash benefit which will directly come into your bank account. Now, for large industries, they have a policy of IPP, which is Industrial Promotion Policy 2014, and it was amended in 2019 post GST, which also gives a capital subsidy up to 40% to 60%. They have designed a special calculator, the calculator which is based on employment and exports. So MP government want industries to have more exports as well as to generate more employment to get a higher incentives, which is in range of 40 to 60% of investment in plant and machinery and building. It is again same applicable to manufacturing industries. Recently, policy has come up which says for Rajasthan government is RIPS policy in 2019, which is under process, and it also have 100% FCI. It is capital plus revenue. This is the only state which is providing benefits to service industries also. Now, friends, when we talk about central government is for providing, we are working for SPECS policy, which is a scheme for promotion of manufacturing of electric component and semiconductor. It is a capital subsidy, which is 25% of plant and machinery investment, and it is based on the vertical which is defined in this policy for manufacturing electronic product. Apart from that, everyone will be hearing about production link incentives. So central government has announced various policy for production link incentive. That is again, industry wise, they have launched a scheme for pharma sector, food processing, textile, and then electronic. And that is based on evaluation criteria of investment as well as. So the benefits under production link incentives is based on incremental sales year on year, which is tuned to 5% to 10%. So what is the fixed capital investment when we say Maharashtra government is providing benefits? So benefit on what assets? So it covers land, building, cost of development, technical know-how, plant and machinery. In short, whatever things you capitalize in your balance sheet, which is directly linked to your production process, which is a non-production process like furnitures, your vehicles, your other thing will not be covered for giving the benefits under Maharashtra state electronic policy. State government policy. So. Hello.
Yes, sir. You please continue.
Yeah. So Maharashtra government has what they have done is they benefit into two parts, which is fiscal as well non-fiscal benefits. The fiscal incentives like SGST refund payable, interest subsidy, and power tariff. Non-fiscal, as in these are exemption. You can't get refund if you pay the stamp duty, or if electricity duty is also non-fiscal benefits. So these the benefits are reimbursement of SGST payable, waiver of stamp duty when you are going to buy a land, or if you are going to register a lease premises or land, and if you are going for a term loan, then you have to pay a mortgage duty. So that will be exempted through Maharashtra government, 0.2% of this mortgage charges, or maybe 0.5% in case of registered mortgage. Interest subsidy is up to 5% of your term loan amount. Again, it is subject to your electricity bill, and exemption of electricity duty, which is 10%. So electricity duty, whenever you see the bill of industry, there is 9.3% is on the basic amount is levied as electricity duty. That can be exempt up to 10 years if you are a new unit. And power tariff subsidy, which is 50 paisa per unit to 1 rupee per unit, depending on the zone and area of the unit. And there are other additional benefits of technology upgradation and all. So this is a basket of incentive, all put together will be 100%. And again, it ranges from 30% to 100%, depending on which zone or which area you are setting up your unit, like in A zone, B zone, D, C, D, D+, or maybe non-industrial zones. So eligibility period, operative period, and investment period. So we need to understand what is the eligibility period till when we will be applicable for subsidy. So they have designed the policy in such a way that you need to run your unit for particular period. The benefits will be accorded in tranches. It is not a one-time benefit. So and it is done smartly so that genuine industrialists should get the benefit. So if you start taking a benefit from, it can range from 7 to 10 years. It depends again on the zone. If you are in a B zone or C zone, it is 7 years. And if you go to 10 to 10 plus years, it is 10 years. So till then time, you will be able to, it is an eligibility period for your unit. After eligibility period, you need to run your unit for an operative period. So if you have an eligibility period of 10 years, then again you need to run for another 5 years. So it is 10 plus 5 years. Before that, you cannot, sell your unit, or if you can change the management. Everything is possible, but you need to intimate the department before doing it. And for MSME, it is 7 years, and mega unit is 10 years. Now, the benefits are given to investment. So for MSME, it is 3 years period. Whatever investment you have done in 3 years, since starting of the policy, you can take the incentive on those investment which is done in 3 years. And for large, it is 4, and for mega, it is 5 years. So for example, if we are starting our investment in 2020, 1st April, then we can take the benefits to 2023. 3 years investment we have done, then total benefit investment you can take the benefits. So who are the implementing agency and where to pursue to get the incentives, where we can ask our clients, or where industry incentive is. For MSME, it is district industry center. Every district is having a DIC wherein you can apply, you can understand the schemes, and you can get the benefits. For a medium scale unit, it is a joint director industry, which is the senior, or which is handling the 5 DICs under them. And for large and mega industries, it is Director of Industries, which is opposite to Mantralaya. It's a new administrative building. There you can file your application and take benefits if your unit is in large, if the client is having a large unit. So these are the implementing agency which they have assigned, who are the authority behind giving the benefits. So package scheme incentive 2019. This policy started in April 2019, and it is valid up to 2024. It is applicable to all the industries which is listed in this Industries Act 1951, and also manufacturing enterprises defined under MSMED Act 2016 are now latest it is amended, and ITBT manufacturing unit on food agro processing industries. So this policy is based on the classification, and it is, as I said earlier also, that it is based on development zones like A, B, C, D, D+. Vidarbha Marathwada, they have separately defined a zone, and aspirational district. The benefits are up to 100% of fixed capital investment, which we have already covered the investment. And what is the highlight of this policy? The policy is specifically on thrust sectors like food processing, electronic policy, and EV policy. Under this policy, they have especially issued GR for these thrust sectors in higher benefit.
You please continue, sir. I mute them. Yeah, Ankur, you please continue. Please unmute yourself. Ankur, you are mute.
So can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So what is the highlight of this policy? As I said, it's promoting on the third sector, which I already defined, like EV policy, food processing, and electronic. The additional benefit 20% is given to food processing, green energy, biofuel manufacturing units. And the eligibility period is extended to 2 years for the food processing and green energy and biofuel manufacturing units. This policy also provides a customized package for mega and ultra mega projects. So there is a fixed criteria for mega and ultra mega projects. The mega and ultra mega projects are based on either investment based or you can go for a employment based criteria. I can't move. Sorry. So now we are talking about special GR for I think women, food, agro, and industry policy. The applicable sector are especially for large mega unit food and agro processing units. This is a recent GR which was issued in the month of December. And it was especially for food processing, agro processing industries, wherein the minimum investment will be 50 crores for large and mega respectively. And they are providing 100% of incentive zone wise, all the zones, and on the gross SGST basis. Though again, it is on gross SGST irrespective of your net payment of SGST. So in simple words, it is sales into whatever SGST rate you have. So that refund is provided. It is a good benefits for food and agro based industries. It is applicable to all large and mega units, and there is no restriction in this policy for special LSI. And these benefits are for a period of 10 years. And there is, I think, no operative period for this policy. Now, when we talk about a state electronic policy, what this policy is applicable from 1st April 2016 to 31st March 2021. It now extended to for further 2 years, and it is valid for 31st March 2023. As I already said that the units which are covered under MCIPS, which are have taken approval of MCIPS benefit from central government, they can apply under this policy. And now SPECS is the new policy which is there, which is a scheme for promotion of manufacturing of electronic component and semiconductor. So if you are approved under central government, then you are very well eligible to apply under this scheme, which is providing 100% of incentives for electronic manufacturing. Like in Nagar only, you have many industries which are manufacturing PCB, printed circuit board, and double-sided PCBs. They are enjoying the benefit for electronic policy. And in this policy, there is no operative period succeeding the eligibility period. So you need to have the eligibility period, and the operative period is the period till the time we will be able to encash your incentives. Let us take an example how the benefits work under PSI scheme. So let us assume that we have a new unit which is in D zone, and it is under MSME criteria. The benefit will be for the period of 10 years. And let's say the fixed capital investment is around 40 crores. So if you are in a D zone under PSI, the 50% will be the benefits for FCI. That is 20 crores over the period of 10 years. So you will be able to, the unit will be able to encash 2 crores every year. And how the 2 crores will be, the benefits will be from the basket of incentive. So it is mentioned from 1st to 5. These are the basket wherein you will be able to encash these 2 crores. So it will be 100% gross SGST payable first. Then second, interest subsidy if you are having a term loan. So interest subsidy is only applicable to term loans, not cash credit. So even if your industry is taking cash credit, or suppose the client is taking cash credit, you will not be able to get the benefit on cash credit or working capital. It is purely based on term loan. The waiver of stamp duty and electricity duty and power tariff. So all put together, this is 100% of basket. So out of this, you will be able to encash these 2 crore rupees every year. To promote women entrepreneur, to come up with lot more industry, to head the industry department or to become an entrepreneur, the Maharashtra government has recently launched a women entrepreneur policy in 2017, wherein lot of the benefits are accorded to industries which is promoted or which is managed by mostly women entrepreneurs, and they have maximum number of employments among women only. This is on the similar line of PSI. The definition and the industry are covered under PSI, because PSI is mother of all the policies which we are talking about. And the only condition where here is all the directors, if it is a private company, private limited company, all the directors, shareholders, and if it is a partnership firm, then all the partners should be a woman, and should the unit or the industry should have at least 50% of employment. So these policies give capital as well as revenue link incentive. So even if you have a unit in A and B zone, you can get a benefit of 40%, which is a benefit of C zone. So these are providing a higher incentive, one scale ahead of benefits, and additional benefit is providing by capital subsidy, power tariff, and interest subsidy. What are the highlight of this policy? This highlight is it is a revenue plus capital linked incentive policy. Here the power tariff is 2 rupee per unit and 1 rupee in rest of Maharashtra, as compared to normal package scheme incentive policy. Now, many people are converting their vehicle to EV, and many EV manufacturing industries are coming in Maharashtra as well as pan India. But Maharashtra government is giving incentives on electric vehicle, EV components, batteries, and EV batteries components. So the objective, prime objective, is to develop an ecosystem to promote manufacturing of EV in India, so that there should be a less import. So not only vehicle manufacturing, they also want to promote the components, the raw material, which is used for manufacturing of EV. So that is why there are 5 things wherein they are covering the benefits. Friends, again, this is a revenue linked subsidy. They are giving major benefit from refund of SGST. It is covered to MSME and large, and these benefits are one scale higher than a normal policy. This policy also gave a capital subsidy tuned to 10 lakh rupees for charging station for 2-wheelers, 3-wheelers, car, buses, and which is eligible for 25% capital subsidy on equipment and machinery, subject to 10 lakh rupees per station, and only to first 250 commercial public EV charging stations. How the stage, what is the process flow, how this policy works, So firstly, we need to apply, we need to make a policy application. After applying, and that is to before starting the production. So application has to go before starting up production. Otherwise, we will have a curtailment, that delay in filing the application. So once you file an application, valid application, and after production, we can go to the department and we can apply for eligibility certificate. Eligibility certificate is, in short, a sanction of subsidy. And third stage is year-on-year filing the claims. So once you get the sanction, then you can year-on-year apply for the claims. That is after getting your GST returns and GST audit. So in claims, you need to submit the GST audit, claims, your challenge of payment taxes paid to the government. And then once you get the claim, you normally get a funds in your account in 3 to 4 months here. But due to COVID scenario, now funds are getting delayed because all machinery of government, central government, state governments are mainly focusing on healthcare. And after getting the benefits, you need to submit the follow-up report. So many people, what they tend to make mistake, or because of their busy schedule, they they're not able to submit the follow-up report. So it is a compliance part that after getting the benefits, you need to year on year submit the follow-up reports, which will cover your operative period, as I said, that validity period and operative period. So when you take the benefits and you need to show that, yeah, we are running the unit, these follow-up reports need to be submitted in 6 months. Now, what the follow-up reports cover is your electricity bill, your GST returns. So in short, all the papers which shows that our unit is running and we are running the unit and we are complying with all the conditions which are laid down in the eligibility certificate. What are the overview and objective? Now I'll be covering the Madhya Pradesh state also, since I'm working on that policy also. Again, the similar lines, Madhya Pradesh government is giving the benefit. It is to promote a lot of industry to come up and set up their unit in MP state, then develop the non-developed area, generate employment. So in short, if you are taking a benefit, आप subsidy ले रहे हैं और आप incentive ले रहे हैं, that means you are obliging the government in short. Because employment generation is one thing which government has to give the more and more employment generation. So these industry people are obliging. That is why government is giving subsidy. So they want to promote a lot of employment, and hence these schemes are rolled out year on year. They are amended. So MSME policy, they have divided into large and MSME policies. Again, as I explained, the capital subsidy is there up to 40% to 60%. Additional benefit is given to export-oriented unit, and they have a special emphasis on pharma sectors, textile sectors, wherein the higher benefits are given. Who are the implementing agency? On the similar line, they have district industry center. Then for large, they have a state level committee, and MEGA is cabinet approval, which is headed by CM and industry secretary, as well as industry minister and other committee members. The definition for MEGA in Maharashtra and MEGA in MP is different, since Maharashtra already have a lot of industries. Now, as a consultant and as an advisor, what role we can provide as a CAs, or if you are industrialists, where you have to take the guidance for availing these subsidies. The major part is advisory and consultant. We need to analyze that, and we need to see the taxation structure. So where our major sales are, whether it is out of Maharashtra, whether it is in Maharashtra, how to, whether we should go for interest term loan or not, whether we should go for a working capital. Many people make a mistake to, invest a working capital into term loan, which is a long-term investment, and then they miss out the subsidy part also. So as a consultant, as an advisor, our role is to analyze the tax structure. We need to guide, because sanctioning is one part when we talk about subsidy. The major part is to encashment. There should be a real encashment to an industry. The fund should directly come into their account. So for example, if we have a 10 crore rupees sanction, and because of taxation and because of their SGST structure, they are able to encash only 5 crores. That 5 crores will be lost to that company, is a loss of profit. So as an advisor, we need to understand the tax structure. And even if you are starting, before starting your unit, we can guide you in which state you can plan your incentive according to your sales, as well as, tax structure. Many companies who are exporting out of Maharashtra, as well as those are 100% export oriented unit, which are giving export to, other countries, will not be able to encash much in Maharashtra government, since it is, a SGST linked subsidy. So in that case, we can suggest them to go to other states, or maybe other states wherein other state industries who are not having sales in their state and they are having major sales in Maharashtra, they can plan their unit and investment in Maharashtra. So need to in detail analyze the tax structure. We need to see the projections and as well as for new and expansion. We also need to guide them for early closure of the unit. There will be a transfer, there will be a merger acquisition. When we let's say, for example, if somebody has taken incentive and they want to close the unit, or some other major bigger player, or they want to merge, or they want to take or JV, a lot of things are there in business. Then there is a set procedure or guidelines laid down by the government how to go about it, because it's a normal business nature. You can have JVs, you can have merger acquisition. So again, not to miss out the benefits, we need to follow certain protocol which is laid down in procedure rule, which is laid down in guidelines of the policies, so that the client should not, or the industry should not lose the benefits, or should not have penalty in future. Now, when the unit has already taken benefits, then it is a duty, or it is advisable that we should get the NOC department once we complete our operating period as well. So unless until we take a department NOC, we are not free from the the condition laid down in the section when we take the benefits, or once we start taking the incentives. Because indirectly government also are the partner once you start taking the incentive, though they don't have any major say in the management, but from scheme point of view, you need to follow certain policies. So we need to go and take the NOCs, no objection certificates. In short, NOC will say that now we don't have to pay any dues, and the unit ne apna operating period chala diya hai, and now they have completed the conditions laid down. So how the process, as I explained, how we can support, and what are the documentation and process. You need to make a valid application. A valid application covers your land papers, your licenses, your project reports, which is an effective step. So with kiti baar kya hota hai ki we apply in haste, और जल्दी में अप्लाई करने के चक्कर में we missed out certain document which are crucial. तो एप्लीकेशन ही वैलिड नहीं होता है, बाद में एलिजिबिलिटी के लिए जाते हैं, and then we think that now it is not a valid application. So there is a guideline. If you can see the website of Maharashtra government, which is di.maharashtragovernment.gov.in, वहाँ पे all the documentation application के लिए, EC के लिए, claims के लिए, they have especially given on those website. So applying our application is important part. Again, it's a and followed by documentations. Second is identifying and solving the queries raised by government department. So many times, many industries or industrialists will never set up an industry. Investment इसलिए नहीं करते हैं कि उनको subsidy लेनी. A genuine industrialist, they put up an industry, and then they think that we have to go for subsidy. तो वहाँ पे there will be delay in some licenses. There will be instances then they have applied for certain license, or they have forgot to apply for certain things which is laid down in the guidelines. There we need to give a representation. There we need to give a proper understanding, practical understanding to the government that this is how this is. And government is very supportive when it comes to giving the incentive to the unit. So if we have a practical representation, or if we are able to solve the queries to the department, then they accept it. And then on the basis of those explanation and solving these queries, the department will get the eligibility certificate. And year on year, we can apply for the claims. So these are the domains, as already told by Aniket and Sandeepji. We are a specialized. We are a group of people wherein we are specialized in state government subsidies. We also work for Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, and we are expanding to Rajasthan and UP also. We are also have finance portfolio wherein private equity and other licenses we take care. And last 2 years back, we started a startup advisory services, wherein central government is providing tax exemptions for startups. And there are now Startup Seed India scheme is also launched, wherein you can get 20 lakh rupees when you are on seed stage, and if you are already accelerated, you started generating revenues, then you can go for 50 lakh rupees benefits from central government. So these are the presences we offices there. I think we can now open for question answer session. Sandeep ji, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Ankurji. Very first, you explain all the schemes very nicely in a very better manner. You explain the scheme not only of the Maharashtra, but at the same time you highlighted some issues, some incentives of Madhya Pradesh also. That is your expertise area. And looking into the whole task, I think the incentive schemes and this can be the full-time profession for CA also. So this is, I think, the one of the avenue open for all the chartered accountants. They can expertise themselves in this field. Now I request, is there any query? Any member? Let me check in the chat box. In chat box, all members have put their membership number only. Is anyone having any query? Or any discussion? You can unmute yourself and you can directly have a discussion. Harish Chandra Shinde, I think.
Sir, I have a query.
Yeah,
Yes, go ahead, Ash. Go ahead.
Yeah, there is one unit having a expansion price, and they want to file the yearly claim. They have a carry forward subsidy of earlier claim, that is the first claim, and they want to claim a yearly subsidy. How to claim in both the cases?
So basically, they have two eligibility certificate, if I understand right. Or you want to apply for second one, right?
Yeah, actually, there is a carry forward of earlier subsidy, means first expansion.
No, see, carry forward for first expansion will be able to encash by first expansion only. But if
Okay.
you start taking the eligibility certificate from now, for example, from year 2021, आपने
Yeah.
पहला EC लिया, उसके बाद दूसरा EC लिया. आपका total SGST is, let's say, 1 crore rupees every year.
Yeah.
ठीक है, 1
Yeah.
crore में से 50 first EC में चला जाएगा, and then remaining 50 you will be able to remaining 50 में से ratio लग के जो है second EC में आपको मिल जाएगा.
नहीं, there is whether there is a 50% earlier or 50% second, ऐसा कुछ rule है क्या उसमें? Whether there is a thumb rule of such?
No. There is no thumb rule as such. It is purely based on the understanding of implementing agency कि implementing agency उसको कैसे लेती. But as per our understanding and whatever cases we have done so far, logic is पहले आपका first EC में cover होगा, जो उसका carry forward है that cannot be covered into second EC. वो उसमें नहीं आएगा. But from year on year जहाँ पे दोनों EC, दोनों sanction साथ में चलेंगे, तो first plus second is your total taxes. So first you cover and then second में ratio लग के आपको balance payment मिल जाएगा.
हाँ,
As
अच्छा,
far as
first का carry forward
sorry.
है क्या? करंट क्लेम सेकंड में कर सकते हैं क्या?
नहीं सर, फर्स्ट का कैरी फॉरवर्ड इसलिए नहीं हो सकता लॉजिकली क्योंकि उस टाइम आपका एक्सपेंशन हुआ नहीं था एंड यू आर नॉट होल्डिंग द सेकंड इन योर हैंड. अभी जो है यहाँ पे जो कैरी फॉरवर्ड रहेगा दैट ऑब्वियसली इट विल बी कैरी फॉरवर्ड रहेगा ही नहीं, बिकॉज यू विल बी एबल टू कवर इन सेकंड ईच.
हाँ, नहीं, फर्स्ट का हम कैरी फॉरवर्ड में से करेंगे और करंट ईयर का सेकंड इसमें सेकंड एक्सपेंशन में करेंगे तो चलेगा क्या ऐसा?
that if depend on the implementing agency वो allow करते हैं. Logically you are on correct part. वैसे ही होना चाहिए तो मैक्सिमाइज करने के लिए वैसे ही होना चाहिए.
हाँ, तो दोनों केस में हमको मिल सकता है.
Yes, 100%. That is the role and that is you are on correct part. आपने एकदम लॉजिकली सोचा है कि उसको मैक्सिमाइज कैसे करेंगे, नहीं तो क्या होगा वो कैरी फॉरवर्ड का लॉस हो जाएगा. एकदम करेक्ट है सर. Yes,
Thank you sir, I have clarified my doubt. Thank you.
Yeah, is there any other query? और chat box में कुछ है वहाँ पर? नहीं है.
I think Sandeep ji,
Yeah,
even if we have other queries and they think that they're shy to discuss right now, then they can write an email to your branch, and then you can send to me, and we can reply on email also.
Yes. Ankur sir, I have
I'll,
already shared my your PPT presentation. I already shared with my all WhatsApp group. Dear members, in that you will find Ankur sir's mail ID and contact number also. You can directly contact to him also, no problem. Thank you, Ankur sir. And now I request our branch vice chairman, C. Pawan Kumar Daral sir, please present formal public thanks. Yes, Pawan bhai.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Sandeep. So it's my proud privilege to propose vote of thanks on behalf of the Ahmednagar branch. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and guiding us on the subsidy scheme and the various schemes available for the MSMEs. And thank you, sir, for also discussing the sanctioning procedure. Sir, definitely your guidance will help us even it will help to the member of industries, because various members from the industry are also attending this seminar. And I also take the opportunity to thank Pargaonkar sir and Kataria sir for their opening remarks. Thank you, sir. Again, you gave us the opportunity that you are free to answer our queries even on email. So it's a really nice of you, sir. Thank you, Ankur sir. Once again, I thank on behalf of all the branches, and of course all the participants from the industry as well as from the CA fraternity. Thank you for attending this seminar even on the Sunday. Generally, we CAs keep off on the Sundays, but yeah, since the faculty, it's basically always the attendance means I see the attendance was 100 plus earlier. Now it's around 83. So of course the credit for the attendance is always goes to the faculty. So Ankur sir, really thank you.
Thank you
Over
so
to you,
much.
Sandeep.
Thank you so much, Sandeep ji, and thank you so much everyone to listening to me patiently. And I'm free to answer any queries. If any fellow members, any colleague of mine, or any practicing CA or CA want to start this practice, they are free and feel to contact me anytime. I will guide to you, because there is a lot of requirement for our type of people, our professional, to take up this job and support the industries. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Once again, thank you. Yeah, over to you, Sandeep.
Yeah, Pawan bhai, my request to you as your Vikasa chairman, that sir is having very good knowledge about the startup also. So we can have one webinar for student also. If Ankur sir is giving the time, that will be good learning for student also.
Yes.
I think.
100%, sir. And I would be keen in participating in your startup committee too. So
Yes.
I've already conveyed to secretary and WIC members. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, again accepting our invitation.
100%. 100%.
Thank you so much. Thank you, audience. Thank you, my team, and thank you all the members. Thank you so much. Now I declare the session is over. Thank you.